the show Australian Vice Consul Andrew Collister. We also have cricket expert Anis Sarjan. Andrew, congratulations to you for Australia finally making the World Cup final. We are going to have a new T20 world champion. Did you think till the 16th over perhaps this win was possible?
Hi Rika, thanks for having me on. I admit it, probably about the 16th over, my confidence was at rock bottom. I thought we did reasonably well throughout the game. You know, it was a seesawing game, keeping the Pakistanis relatively low with the bat. I thought it was about a par score that we could chase, but when we lost Warner, when we lost Maxwell, I think I'd messaged a few friends that it looked like game over. But Marcus Stoinis and Matthew Wade proved me as a fan wrong, and very exciting game.
Right. Anis, you were at the ground. We saw you when Rizwan was playing that fabulous knock. Rizwan and Zaman almost taking the game away from Australia. They could have been the reason for Pakistan's win, but it was not to be because Marcus Stoinis and Matthew Wade came in the end 96 for 5 when things started turning around. Would you say it was that partnership really that started the turning point?
Of course, Rika, I was fortunate to see this match, but it was a belter of a wicket. Mind you, two things were in Pakistan's favor. One, they had put up a very healthy score. Second, there was not a drop of dew. That is why the spinner Shadab Khan came into play. And in the end, to be very honest, the form of Hassan Ali and that dropped catch of Matthew Wade. I know small things make a difference. Stephen Smith also dropped Fakhar Zaman, which costed them 2 sixes. But that dropped catch, and I've always believed Australia will chase because they had also Pat Cummins. But to be very honest, this was a wicket. If you put your eye in, if you get your eye in, you could get the runs. And that's why Australia made this impossible target possible.
Well, there's a lot of discussion, Andrew, about David Warner's wicket and even Cricket Australia also sent out a tweet. Did you think that was legitimate?
Well, I don't think anyone, he certainly didn't know. I mean, at the time on the coverage, I thought I heard a noise, but yeah, looking back, seemed he missed it and he walked. So he obviously felt he'd nicked it. I mean, we've seen before Adam Gilchrist many years ago, he walked and he did nick it. But I suppose it's just the vagaries of cricket really, but I don't think there'll be any sort of controversy coming out of that.
Andrew, how excited are you with the fact that it's now going to be a trans-Tasmanian affair, the World Cup final?
Very excited. I'm buzzing. It's, you know, it's a rare event to ever make a World Cup final. And I know we've had one before against the New Zealanders, which ended very well in Melbourne. But, you know, they're looking really good this time. The New Zealanders they'll be the favourites this time, I'm sure. And, yeah, it'll be a challenge. But again, just so exciting to be in a World Cup final.
Anis, you said it was a belter of a wicket, but do you think 20-30 more runs would have made the difference? And the reason I'm asking you is that Pat Cummins bowled a very good penultimate over when Pakistan was batting. Would you say that that could have really changed the game?
Yes, in hindsight, you can say that, Rika, that he bowled a brilliant penultimate over where he conceded 3 runs and picked up 1 wicket. And he could have also got Fakhar Zaman, but Stephen Smith, I'm afraid, dropped a catch which he should have. He takes it generally a lot of times. But if you ask me, Pakistan had enough runs in the bank, I would say yes. This was Pakistan's match to lose. For one reason, I'm saying you. There was not a drop of dew. I'm repeating the same line. And so that's what was hampering the other team. So when I was discussing with veteran cricketer Shane Watson, he mentioned that the team which will hold his nerve will go on to win the match. You have to give it to Australians that they believed in themselves, whether it was Stoinis or Matthew Wade. They made sure that they took the game deep. And in the end, in a couple of overs, one of Hassan Ali and the last over of Shaheen Shah Afridi, they finished and winning the match with 1 over to spare. Credit to the Australian duo.
Anis, Pakistan had a near perfect tournament. They won all 5 group games. It was only in the knockouts that they dropped this game. Would you say that, you know, it is their inability then to hold it out in the knockouts when it matters the most is what caused them? Because perhaps what really caused them tonight was pedestrian fielding.
You're right, Rika. You know, they have never won against Australia in a knockout game. And that memory of Michael Hussey tearing apart Saeed Ajmal in that 2010 World Cup. And to be very honest, the scenario was almost similar. Okay, at that time, Michael Hussey scored 67 of some 20 odd balls. But today, they had lost everything. So they had only one partnership to break. And sometimes, it gets to the players. The mental scars are always there. And like you said, that drop catch, who knows, had Matthew Wade been taken, things would have been different. But in the end, credit goes to Australia that they finished the game and finished in style. I mean, that six, the reverse scoop, unbelievable. And Matthew Wade proved that he's an asset. He's been playing for Cricket Australia for, I think, more than 12, 13 years.
Right. And tonight was his night. Well, Andrew, tonight the Australian team won, but one Australian out there lost, the batting coach of Pakistan team. In fact, he joined the Pakistan team just ahead of the tournament, and he's done wonders to the team as well.
Yes, he has. And no, I think it was fascinating battle within a battle to have Matthew Hayden and Justin Langer, obviously former partners on opposite sides this evening. And I suppose Matthew Hayden was the better limited overs player, you could say, over the journey. But it is, disappointing. But I think he'd be very proud, though, as you said. They had a pretty perfect tournament before this, and a lot of that was down to the opening batting, which, of course, he was a great opening batsman himself.
Anis, let me ask you a little about the Pakistani batters. Rizwan, this was his third 50 of the tournament. Even Fakhar Zaman, he batted when it... Perhaps, he has developed this habit of turning up during the knockout games. Tell us a little bit about Pakistan's batting and how good they looked, how clinical they looked in this tournament.
Absolutely fabulous, Rika. If you watch from the first match where they beat India, where they had the captain as well as Mohammad Rizwan taking them easily to win against. And then in the one match, rather couple of matches, it was Asif Ali, then Shoaib Malik. And when it mattered, Fakhar Zaman put his hand up. So everybody in the Pakistan team put his hand up. And when it comes to bowling, it was Shaheen Shah Afridi, it was Haris Rao, then there was Shadab, there was Imad. The only player, unfortunately, did not have a good tournament for Hassan Ali. I feel for him, and I would not be surprised if, he'll be trolled or probably, it happens when you lose such a match. And that dropped catch will always haunt him. But such things happen in cricket. You can't have everything. But you have to say that Pakistan will be holding their heads high.
Yes, coming back to you, Andrew, we've spoken about Shaheen Shah Afridi because of the tremendous over he delivered against India, that first over that picked out KL Rahul, and then he also took Rohit Sharma. Today was the day when he bowled a fantastic first over once again. It could have been 2 for 1 for against Australia. Would you say he was a tad bit unlucky towards the end to get hit the way he got in the end?
Yeah, I'd agree. He was unlucky. It was terrifying early. That fourth ball before it went to umpire's call was a very nerve-wracking moment. And yeah, I think T20 cricket is cruel. It's unforgiving. You can have a great game and then go for 3 sixes and death bowling. Look, it's, as I said before, just so unforgiving. Some days you get lucky, some days you don't. And look, Matthew Wade, those 2 reverse scoops, they're very high-risk shots. Another day, he would have missed that and he would have gotten bowled. So it's very fine margins. So, yeah, you do feel for him. He's had an amazing tournament.
Anis, if you were to sum this up and tell me one prime reason why Australia won tonight, what would that be?
I'm glad you asked me this, Rika, question because I was in the stadium and I had the best view. There was a shot with Marcus Stoinis played at the beginning of his innings, and Asif Ali, for no reason, was standing way inside this circle. Had he been at the boundary, it would have been straight into his pocket, and that, I believe, would have shut the game had he been at the boundary, and that would have been game, set, and match. And at that time, as you said, they were 95 for 5, they would have been 95 for 6. That, I believe, is the turning point. I know we are talking about the Matthew Wade catch, but by that time, Australia were almost in the game. But I believe sometimes cricketers forget that you need to be at the boundary. There was no reason for him to stand in. And I could see that a couple of players ran to him and said, "Why are you inside, mate?" But that's the way it goes. When you don't have your day, you don't have your day.
Let me ask you one final question, Anis, before I let you go. 2 very, very good teams up against each other in Sunday's final. Who has a better chance of winning it?
Difficult one, to be very honest, I had never given New Zealand a chance to make it to the knockout. And the way they thumped India and the other teams, they went convincingly. And yesterday against England, they were down and out. And came Neesham and Mitchell. They made the match easier for them to win. And today, Australia.
It was almost similar circumstances, the way it flowed, the matches flowed.
Absolutely. So if you have to pick one winner, I'm afraid I will go with Australia, not for any reason, because they are the team which looks to be a perfect team compared to the Aussies. They have a batting depth till number 8. Even Pat Cummins can bat well. But on this wicket, they'll be playing, so I would back Australia in Dubai.
Well, whoever wins will be a first-time T20 World Cup winner. We look to have you back on Sunday after that final. With that, a wrap on Turning Point tonight. Thank you very much, Andrew and Anis, for joining me on the show.